What's up, everyone? You watch On Air with Nick Java podcast here on YouTube. Guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy content like this, please ring that bell, and you'll be notified of all my upcoming video releases. Guys, today's content comes from the PBD podcast. If you guys don't know who that is, you know I love Patrick Bet David over here. He's got some great shows. I think he's got some great points of view there. And this is a episode he has on, and it's named Trump's 12-year plan. Trump's unexpected rejection of Vance triggers third term talk, man. So we are going to get into this right now, guys. Let's get on into it.
Let's go to an interview that took place that maybe President Trump didn't give the feeling that JD Vance would be his Valentine for 2028. Okay. President Trump's being asked about JD Vance. A lot of talks about him being a presidential candidate for 2028. People are talking about it. And you know how they measure cars 0 to 60, right? This car goes 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds. This car goes 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. I want you to watch how quickly President Trump gave the answer of whether JD Vance has his endorsement for 2028. Rob, go ahead and play the clip.
Do you view Vice President JD Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting.
Right.
But by the time you get to the midterms, he's going to be looking for an endorsement.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that this has been the greatest opening, almost 3 weeks, in the history of the presidency.
It's definitely been the fastest and the most stuff
Well,
happening.
we've done so much so fast, and we really had to, because they have really, what they've done to our country is so sad. It's so sad. We're going to be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
Glenn, thoughts?
I think Donald Trump has he's told me he has a 12-year plan.
Guys, head into the comments. Let me know what you think about this comment that President Trump said regarding JD Vance. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Let's get back to it.
What he's doing right now is he's got to hit everything he promised in the first 100 days. We're in a tough place with the economy over the next year. If it's not turning in a year, we're in trouble. But to really cement this in, it's going to take him 12 years. I think personally, I wouldn't read too much into that. I think JD Vance was a great pick because he could be, but we don't know. We haven't seen him in action. Let's not anoint him the successor to Trump. And I think he's saying that. Let's watch him. Let's watch him and see.
You think that's what it is? You think it's more about him earning it, or do you think, because there's a guy on Manek that keeps Manek me, Zeus, very interesting guy, and every time he Maneks me, it's all about one thing. He just shares stories about another article that talks about President Trump third term. Rob, if you can go on Google and just type in President Trump third term, just type that and see what's come out the last 24.
You guys, this is a hot topic, man. They're going to discuss this with you guys as well, and we'll check that out. But, Trump likes to throw stuff at the wall, see if it'll stick. And I think that's what he's doing when it comes to this stuff. So let's get it.
4 hours, right? Zoom in a little bit. So don't click on any of this stuff. Just read all of them. So what to know about the possibility of Trump serving a third term? That's The Hill, Seattle Times. Trump muses about a third term over and over again. Then you got New York Times. Trump muses about a third term over and over again. No, Trump cannot run for re-election again 2028. Do you think he is lobbying for that, or there's nothing there?
I think this is exactly like everybody freaking out about Canada being the 51st state. Would he like it to be the 51st state? You bet he would. Would he accept Gaza and say, yeah, I'm going to develop that. We're going to have the first 18,000 hole golf course in Gaza. Would he do that? Yes. Is he floating these things? And if the people decide to go along with it, will he do it? Yes. But I don't think I hope not, that he's actively going to pursue that and say, I want the Constitution changed. If he plants the seeds and they grow outside of him. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, we got to have him for a third term. Would he go along with it? Absolutely.
Vinny, what do you think about the response Trump on JD that quickly?
I mean, like we talked about it before, the fact that he didn't waste 1 second, he knew exactly what was going on. But Glenn, you make a great point too. It's very, very early. And Pat, who knows? Maybe that's the kind of fire that somebody like JD needs to hear to be like, oh, okay, you don't think that I could be the president? Let me show you. And he has 4 years to do it. But I think he made a great point that, or maybe he has somebody else in mind. Maybe Trump promised somebody else something, and that's one of the reasons.
Who?
I mean, I don't know.
You guys, if not JD Vance for the 2028 election, who would it be, man? What you guys pick in the comments, man? This is a pretty interesting topic to me because there's people actually writing about this. Trump does do this very well, though. He'll try to plant seeds on something and see if it takes root and then run with it. Do I personally think any kind of third term is going to happen with Trump? Guys, I'll let you know near the end of this video. Let's get it back to it.
Tom, what do you think? How do you process that? Because I got a complete different lens, but go for it.
Well, given that we just finished Obama's third term, you know,
From the basement.
and by the way,
Facts.
I'm not trying to get laughs there. When you talk to the insiders and you talk to people that know what's going on, two names came up all the time: Obama and Blinken.
Yep.
And they said, who is this? So if he's not really there and he's really incapacitated, what's really going on? And you would have a series of names, usually not more than 4 or 5, but Obama and Blinken were constantly on that list.
Yep.
So I think we've seen Obama's third term. So, okay, so that is just historical reality when we look back at what really happened.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people feel like, especially, dealing with the political landscape. A lot of people feel like that Joe Biden's last 4 years was indeed Obama's third term. There's a lot of information pointing at the idea that Obama is still a very dominant force in the Democrat Party. You had a lot of things happen in that third Obama term, aka Joe Biden's first. Let's keep it going.
This third term, I think what people are saying is we are really excited that the right guy is in here, as far as we're concerned. We're really excited about what he's doing, and he's already served 1 term. Wouldn't it be great if he could serve 3? And I think that's what's going on. And there's a lot of cannon fodder out there for that, and people are pushing it. Now, I agree with what Glenn just said, that if I throw the seeds out there and then drop back, and then they get watered and sunlight and grow, and then I step forward and go, look at all this marvelous corn. Of course I'd like to be a corn farmer.
Yes.
Then I think that's kind of the way it works, so that you can. Nancy Pelosi did the same thing in terms of plausible deniability, and then coming back, well, if that's what all of us, what do you mean us? It was you
Right.
that lit the fuse that put him on stage to have an embarrassment on that debate, Biden. And then you come back and go, well, if we've all evaluated this and we think this is what should be. So this is kind of a political move.
Think it is? You think it is? Adam, what's your angle?
I think there's also a harbor he's keeping. I think he's keeping a safe harbor to say, hey, I'm not going to endorse anybody right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to put myself in Trump's shoes, here's what I'm thinking. I go, all right, I've been president for not even a month now. Everything I've dealt with for the past year, getting almost locked up, criminal convictions, shot in the face, yada, yada, yada. I just got reelected, first time in 100 years since Grover Cleveland. And you want me thinking about what's going to happen maybe in 4 years?
Yes.
I feel like he wants to tell Brett Baer, who he probably respects, shut up and let me just be the president.
Yes.
I've done more in the last 3 weeks than maybe anybody ever.
How many people
get out of my face?
How many people you think wanted to hear that question being asked?
I think for speculation for future markets, sure, but there's going to come a day.
I guarantee you millions of people have been waiting for someone to ask that question. I thought it was a great question by Brett.
I
think it's ahead of the parade.
I think so as well.
I think you're about a block ahead of the parade.
I don't know if I disagree, but for the sake of asking the question, I think it's a great question to ask.
Is it a good question to ask if you're Brett Baer? Sure, it's a very obvious question.
Yeah.
But if you're Trump, you're the president, you're doing what you got to do. You think
shut it down.
Here's my only question. What percentage, if you're Trump or even you guys, do you attribute Trump's re-election to JD Vance? What percentage?
I think it was part of a stew. You know, I think they try to kill him, and Elon Musk stands up. And then you start having all of these figures fall in. JD Vance is kind of this new guy, got a great backstory. He's Silicon Valley as well. And so you start to have this whole movement around him that is outside of traditional Washington. And I think he played a role, but not like Elon Musk did.
Not even close, right?
Yeah, not even close.
Would it be
But
fair
he
to say
did-
that Mike Pence probably had more of a role in getting Trump elected than JD Vance did? Meaning,
I don't think so.
I think Trump would have ran literally with a ham sandwich and he got elected.
All right, guys, what do you guys think about that clip on the Patrick Bet David show? I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of people talk about, you know, Trump. He throws this out there periodically that he is going, you know, if the people want him to, he'll run for a third term. Do I think he's going to do that? I don't know what I think, man. There's so much craziness going on in the world. But if I had to put my money on it, you know, I'd have to say no, he's not going to run for a third term. I think he does stuff. I think he does stuff to try to see if stuff sticks. I do agree with Glenn Beck and the idea of if the people decided that, I think he would be behind it. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be like that, man. You know, I think the majority of people are ready to, you know, almost all of us get past this moment in time where everything is just so rowdy. You know, maybe get candidates in there that are actually not as polarizing as we've had over the last few years between Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump. So, and Obama, you know. Anyways, guys, let me know how you feel in the comments. You watch it on air with Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube, guys. I got shirts below. Buy you a Nick Driver shirt. Guys, at the end of this video, stay tuned if you're still watching and click on the Nick Driver playlist, Nick Driver podcast playlist here on YouTube. Watch all the videos, man. Hang out with me. Leave some comments. A comment goes a long ways on the YouTube algorithm. You guys be safe. Take care.